Luke Ball, former House Communications Director, Republican strategist, and Fred Hicks, Democratic strategist, join me now. Thank you both for talking to me. You heard the mayor, we've played it on this program and on Fox, of Chicago talk about how he really wants to keep his streets safe, yet he denies the fact that more police presence is necessary, and God forbid the National Guard go in there and help them clean up their crime rate. I'm going to start with you, Luke. I mean, do you think Democratic mayors and governors need to get on board?
They do, because this is not a left versus right issue. This is a life versus death issue. How can they seriously argue crime is under control while blood is flowing in their streets? It's probably why they're polling nationally among the American people at a 28% approval rating. I think monkeypox is polling a little bit higher right now among the American people. It's a concerning direction for these folks to be going in, because if they win another election, look to the leaders of the party. Mamdani is the one sucking up all of the energy. That is the leader of the Democrat Party, and I'm concerned that Democrats are about 2 elections away from strapping Karl Marx to a defibrillator, waking him up and running him at the top of the ballot, because that's the way they're leaning. The defund the police, abolish the police movement is not going to play well with voters who are independents and non-party affiliated as we head closer to the midterms.
Fred, he mentioned Mamdani, so I'm sorry, I can't ignore it. I mean, it is a scary sight to think of another mayor coming into New York City and not supporting the police and not upholding law enforcement and funding to do so, because this whole anti-police movement is certainly not going to help crime rates.
Well, gosh, if any of that were true, then that would actually be scary. But the reality is that's not true. I was in Chicago, D.C. earlier this year. I'm in Atlanta right now, and I've not yet stepped in one single pool of blood. So I'm not sure what America and what major city Luke is referencing. And I'm not sure, even when I'm in New York City, what he's referencing.
Are you kidding?
And so with that being said.
Wait a minute. Okay, so you haven't stepped, whoa. So you haven't stepped in a pool of blood. Okay, I'll be honest with you. Neither have I, thank God. But a lot of New Yorkers have, and a lot of people in Chicago have. You have seen the crime rates, right? I mean, in Chicago alone, you want to talk about Chicago? 52 people shot this weekend alone. Last weekend, 26. 7 people killed. That's a pool of blood. That's 52 pools of blood. Maybe you didn't step in it, but I tell you, the crime rates and statistics are facts. Why are you saying that you haven't? I think that's irresponsible.
Let me answer that.
Go ahead.
Let me answer that. Like I said, Luke, the picture that Luke is painting is one that is not representative of what's happening in America. Is there crime? Absolutely. Should crime be dealt with? Absolutely. Are Democrats anti-police and defunders? No. Brandon Johnson's not a defunder. Karen Bass is not a defunder. Andre Dickens in Atlanta is not a defunder. But the reality and where Democrats have a problem is that we're not actually taking into account what's happening when we talk about what the administration is doing. Thank you for innovating. Thank you for being about solving crime. But guess what? There's crime in cities that are not Democratic-led. There's crime in red states all across the country. But we don't see this administration talking about going into Boise, Idaho, or going to other places like that. He's only talking about Democratic-led cities. And lest we be confused about his point, he has actually said that he wants to go into Democratic cities. And that's the problem. He's bringing policing and he's bringing law and order. He's bringing law enforcement into parties and politics.
There is crime in all cities. And I didn't say that there's no crime in red cities. There is crime in red cities. I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about your pool of blood comment.
So why are we not sending the National Guard there?
Okay,
so Fred, let me say this.
Absolutely. If it's needed, then they should.
If we're talking about red states, that's one thing. You've brought up red states, but you also then just mentioned a blue city with relation to crime. That's the major issue here. And in D.C., where I am right now and where I've lived in and around for years, every single day we have some sort of a shooting. It gets closer and closer to our nation's capital. A lot of the people doing the shootings are 12, 13, and 14-year-olds. There are murders happening everywhere, and maybe we don't hear about it all the time because the Democrat politicians have normalized it. And that is a humongous issue. Now the president is, no, they have by ignoring it, Fred. They have normalized it by ignoring it and not doing anything. And now that this president has taken action to do something, you guys are not paying attention to it.
Fred?
You're mixing partisanship and policing, and those two should not go together. If we're going to be about keeping America safe, which we should be, then let's do that wherever the crime happens to be. Do not, as the president has said, focus on, make the focus about democratic cities. Say, listen, I'm going to go where the data indicates it, and that's what we're going to do, what we need to do. Because guess what? A life lost in Chicago is just as valuable as a life lost somewhere in a red city or in a red section. And so we're not seeing a data-driven approach to it, and that's the problem. The president has been very explicit. It's not up for debate. He has stated very clearly that this is about partisanship for him. He wants to go into democratic cities, and that is my problem.
Because the democratic cities are failing America, and they are not tackling their crime, and the highest concentration of murders and bloodshed is in these higher concentrated areas. Yes, it means that, you know, we're going to have crime.
I'm in Atlanta. Homicides have fallen 30% since COVID here in the city of Atlanta, and in Washington, D.C., they've fallen, and all across the country. And these democratic cities, if you look at where the crime rate was, particularly the homicide rate, over the last 5 years, they have the homicide rate has fallen. It has not increased. It has not spiked. That is what the data showed. So let's be real and let's be honest with people.
Yes, I think the honesty is that everybody agrees that crime needs to continue to come down. I mean, a homicide rate coming down 20% is great, but let's get it down even further. And I think, yeah, that should be the focus.
Let's get it to zero.
All right, I agree with you 100%. Luke Ball and Fred Hicks, thank you both. Appreciate it.
Thank you.